Hi, personal finance class. It's Mrs. Fedorowicz. Today I'm going to talk to you about what do you do at the end of the month. You've written out checks all month long, you've made deposits into your account, and now you get a statement from the bank and it says, this is how much money you have. What do you do? We're going to talk about checkbook balancing tips. So I want to talk a little bit about what the statement looks like and how you go about reconciling it. To do this part of the activity, you're going to need practice set A. You're going to need pencil or pen, highlighter if you have one, you don't need it, and a calculator. The first thing I would suggest you do is remove the staple from the upper corner of your packet. Now, your packet, there's a couple different pages. The first page is part of the statement. This is what you would get from the bank. The back of that page is also part of the statement. This continues your statement. And this is the worksheet of the statement. The next page is a copy of your register. So this is, I filled it out for you already, but this is all different checks that I said you would have written out and deposits you would have made. And I continued on the back with it. Let's go back to our first page and kind of look at it. Now, looking at this, you can see that it is for the month of January. Any deposits that I would have made, any checks I would have written out after January 31st will not appear on the statement because this is only for January. It will have your name on here. And then a lot of times what banks will do on the first page is they'll give you other account information. I want you to turn to the back of that first page. This page has a lot of information that we have to pay attention to. So, right up here under account activity, the very first thing that it tells me is it tells me what my beginning balance was. And it tells me that my beginning balance was 0. So this, to me, indicates that this is a new account that I just opened and that I didn't have any money in my account at the start of the month. You can see then any deposits, and I deposited $2,809.76 throughout the month, and then it added up all of my withdrawals, $2,466.38, and subtracted it out. And so according to the bank at the end of the month, this is the amount of money that I have in my checking account. So I'm actually going to go ahead and highlight that number. If you don't have a highlighter, just go ahead with your pen and circle it, because this is an important number. We're going to use this a little bit later in our lesson. If you move down, the next thing that's going to be of importance to us is the interest summary. The interest summary is there are some accounts that you have that will pay you interest on the money when you have it in the account. This one says interest paid, this account is 0. That's another number that we're going to want to highlight. It's saying that, hey, you did not make enough money, or whatever else it might be, that you did not make any money for this account this month. We're going to zoom down here and look at the transaction history. Now, the transaction history is divided into sections. The very first column is your date. According to the bank, this is when these things were deposited or taken out of your account. The next one is check numbers. Okay, so this is if a check was actually used. If it was a deposit, you'll notice there's no number. If it was a check card, you'll notice that there's no number that's given there, and it actually says something like check card. Next column over is a description of what it is. Next column over is your deposits, all right? So here's all of your deposits that were made throughout the month. Here's all of your withdrawals. They do not necessarily go in number of order of the check. They actually go in how they were deposited, or how the bank got them back, I should say, not deposited, but how they were received by the check. And then this is the bank's running balance. And so you can see down here this number that's also up there, and that's the running balance. That's their ending amount that they have for the month. Okay, next page. Next page, what they've done is a lot of times they will take out all of your checks and they will list your checks separately too. Notice how check 112 has an asterisk by it. What does that mean? Well, if you look right down here, it actually tells you that asterisk means that there's a gap in the check sequence. That's just saying, hey, red flag, we don't see check 111. Well, look at check 111 in your register. Did we write out check 111? Yep, we did. So check 111 should be coming. It's not like it's voided out. It's just a way to kind of give you a heads up that they didn't get check 111 yet. All right, and then like I said, here's our worksheet that we're gonna work through, and then here is our register. Now we are ready to start working through this, and what does that mean? Well, you have a set of notes called Checkbook Balancing Tips. What we need to do is go through each and every single one of these and work through them. So we're going to work through step 1 right now. And how I'm actually going to do this is I'm going to break these sets of notes into each number and have you work through it, stop the video, come back and pick up on it again, okay?